Absolutely. And we get, I mean, we know what happens a lot of times when the reason they come through in our dreams, the other thing they'll also do, and I'm going to answer that, is wake you up at the same time every night, and you're supposed to, you're just prompted to look at the clock. And you know what it says before you look at it, because they're actually saying to you, this is safe, you're in the zone, you're not distracted, I'll come if you're open. And that's a part of it. But you have to, and a lot of times people wake up and then they go, okay, and they go back to sleep. But the reason they come through in dreams like that is that's that time when your mind is able to communicate. But that's a little bit of the homework you can also do, is like, do you know it's programmed energy. Everything is programmed energy, our intention. How would I put that, everything? I know I'm trying to say like simpler. Programmed energy. Do you know, okay, take this for example. Do you ever tell yourself you're going to wake up at 7:30 in the morning, and then you open your eyes at 7:29 before your alarm goes off? You program the consciousness, which is what everything is, and then it happens. So this dream is being made available to you. And so one of the things that happens when spirits come to us in our dreams is that they come through once, and a lot of times people are afraid, like they're never going to come back again, and they let go of the dream, right? But what you can do is make a pact with your own spirit guides, because they will help spirits come through. And that's where I was going. Does that make any sense? Like they will help them come through. And one of the best times to talk to spirit is right before you're actually going to wake up in the morning. And it's not that you're dreaming and imagining, although you can take a lot of liberty with how the experience is, but that is a very good way to open up your mediumship. Does it happen more than once in a while for you?
Once in a while.
Once in a while? Do you want to do it more often? That's what starts. So what you can do, and everybody can do really, is before you go to bed, right? Ask your higher self and your guides to bring them through, or set up a meeting, which we sometimes, that's what I meant about when you learn about your higher self, which is we all have. It's not the internet, but if you think of it, it's computer-like only in the sense that it's beyond our intelligence. It's so sophisticated. So we have to trust that, I'm not going to try to figure it out, just help me with what I need, right? So we can set it up that you want to have a meeting, and you can call forth your guides. And so now that you know that, just knowing that you can expect it is going to, it's not something that you're, have no control over, and you can allow that. So you can ask, I mean, I think a lot of times people will say when someone crosses over, they'll say to me, well, how soon can I come talk to them? And there's a catch-22 involved with the communication factor, in the sense that when someone first crosses over and you're separated from them, your vibrations tends to go a little lower because you're grieving. And if you were given the choice and you could make contact with them, there's a good chance you'd never want to let go of that contact. And so the healing isn't taking place. They cross over and they have to acclimate, because there's a whole host of characters on the other side that they have a whole nother life to figure out, well, now here I'm here, and where am I going to do, and what am I doing, and what did I not do? And they're not staying here. They know they'll see you again. So we have to know we'll see them again. And I felt something like that was real. So that's what you do when you're clairvoyant. You always like, but that was real, but that wasn't real, but that was real, but it's all real, right? And it really, everybody else saw that, right? Yeah, I know. They're peaked. What was that saying? Be careful, the paranoids are coming. So anyway, so just knowing that, you may not want to go through the proper way of learning how to open up, but in the long run, you can count on it. There isn't a person in the room that can't have contact with spirit. And so when you're really, I mean, I know when my mother died, I didn't talk to her every day after she crossed over, because she came that night, she appeared in the room, she said what she had to, and then I didn't talk to her for a week or two. I knew she had to go. And I also knew I couldn't go there all the time. You have to have a balance, and you have to know, but knowing that they will come back, and knowing that you will see them again, is a whole lot different than when someone's ripped out of your life and you have no idea, you don't know what you believe, you don't think you'll ever see them again, and you grieve. And when you grieve, your vibration is going way down. And so that's really not, as we discussed before, that's not the time that you should be wide open to spirit. And you certainly don't need a Ouija board to talk to them. So that makes some sense, right? All right, so when you want to sit down and you want to talk to spirit, you know, a lot of people will light a candle, burn incense. There's all sorts of things that people do. I like crystal. I just like to have crystal because it clears the space, clears the energy. It's like, it's a not transducer, that breaks down, a transmitter of energy, and having them in your field helps a lot. So I don't know how much more theory before we do a little bit of channeling. Spirit communication, vibration, clearing the space, a lot of topics we're going to discuss.
I have a question. How do you know that they crossed over successfully without being stuck? Because you are holding on so hard.
You just nailed it. That's exactly what I was saying when I said. She asked me, what's your name again? Anna. She asked me, how do you know that the loved one has crossed over successfully, and how do you know they're not stuck? And so the first thing I'll say is you're never stuck forever. You have slow learners, and you have, you know, people that are bolting out the door, and it's vibrational. There's no rules. That's the most important thing. It's not even in that sense. You personally may not know, you know, with verification, but eventually, that's the other thing about your spirit guides and the masters on the other side. I work with ascended master entity and energies and lighted beings, and then spirit guides, and then my Reiki masters when I do. When someone crosses over and they're on the astral plane and they're sleeping, that's maybe stuck, if we want to look at it from that perspective, but eventually they wake up, and eventually their guides will take them. And when they wake up, the energy will guide them out. So it's just a matter of a perspective. Like they may be, sometimes, I remember when someone crossing over, a friend of a friend, and they didn't know they were dead. It happens.